Tennessee does it again. In the span of 2 weeks, Tennessee has flipped 3 players now from other SEC schools. Hezekiah Harris is the latest who is in the fold. And based on what I'm seeing, I am recording this a little early. He, according to the Rivals industry ranking, this will put him as the 5th ranked commit in Tennessee's class. Hit that like, that share, that subscribe. Thank you for your support along the way. If you want to join the channel, you can join for $1 a month to help out the channel along the way. More stuff's coming here soon in regard to that as I amp that up a little bit. Hezekiah Harris, so 6'5", 230 out of Huntsville, Alabama, is in the fold for Tennessee. It's a big flip from the home state Auburn Tigers, and credit Coach Chop for this one. I don't have any quotes. I don't have anything right now on it again because I'm recording this early in anticipation that he's going to flip. But I mean, I know if you look his name up online, though, if you look it up on YouTube, there's an interview with Austin Price coming out of the visit, and he spoke pretty glowingly about Tennessee then. Tennessee's never given up on this one. They've been persistent. They've continued on him, and now that hard work has paid off for them. As for where Tennessee's at, according to Rivals, they're ranked 9th as I record this, but based on where I'm looking, I could see them go up to 8th and jump Ohio State because their averages are really close right now. Where this just another really good commitment for Tennessee is you're putting together, a really good class, if you ask me on it. I think they're doing a phenomenal job putting this class together. And, I recorded a video. It was, probably closer to 2 weeks ago now, where I looked at, where basically the future of Tennessee, where they're at now versus where they go later on. I had mentioned this as a possibility of Hezekiah Harris being a part of that class. You look at where Tennessee's at with the defensive line. Right now, I would say this might be their biggest need next season in the transfer portal, not necessarily at end, because if you look who's coming back next year at defensive end, you've got Jordan Ross, Caleb Herring. Now, keep in mind, we could lose guys to the transfer portal. Emmanuel Okoye, Marion Dye, Tyree Weathersby, Jaden Lofton, Christian Gass, Kellen Lindstrom, and then in this class alone, you've got Zach Groves, who's a consensus 4-star, CJ Edwards, who is ranked as a 3-star consensus, and then you got Kedrick Golston, who, depending on which one it is, actually he's a consensus 3 now, according to Rivals 24/7 ESPN. Before I think it was the On 3 rankings, they've merged with Rivals now to do it. So this gives Tennessee another defensive end. It adds more depth to them. And again, another real good pickup, a good flip. Persistence pays off. And I know sometimes, I was listening to interview with Brent Hubbs talking about the recruiting, how, you hear these other schools. Tennessee's got a different process to recruiting because you'll hear other schools, they'll have a big visit weekend coming out of 2 to 3. I know with A&M, Tristan Givens did not commit when he came to Knoxville. He went to A&M, he committed while on the visit. You look at different schools, that happens. It happens at LSU, Auburn, some of these places. Tennessee is a little more, based on how, I wouldn't put laid back or lackadaisical because that means they're not recruit. They don't pressure the guys. They want them more to take their time. And sometimes that pays off because, I can see the approach if the guys get all up in their feels. We love it here. We want to commit, but then you go somewhere else with it. Sometimes the process pays off. Does it linger? Does it last? And I think that's Tennessee's approach, which sometimes makes you think, man, this class they're not doing that well. And then all of a sudden, here they go with rolling in these dudes. And again, 3 flips in the last couple of weeks. Kamari Blair, of course, Tristan Keys last week, and now Hezekiah Harris. Commitment number 25. I don't know where they go from here. There's no apparent names on the board right now. Maybe Tristan Givens. I've not really heard much there. I got to think they would keep trying with him. Are they still trying with Savion Hyder? Are they trying with Watkins, the tight end committed to Kentucky? I'd seen that mentioned, but I've really heard nothing else about it. Is there possibly a running back that they try to get in on as well? I mean, you kind of wonder with that if some running backs maybe see what they did this past weekend or maybe reconsider that as well. But just looking where this program's at talent-wise, what they're building, what they're doing, this team's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And, obviously a long way to go in this season. But you look at what's coming for 2026 on it and beyond, they're reloading. They're just reloading each year. And, I think really when it looks at it from a portal standpoint, these guys, they're more about keeping their recruits now. We saw it this past offseason. It's going to be the same way next year, but they're going to add through the portal. And to me, it looks pretty ripe for them to add a defensive tackle. That's the most obvious one to me. Now, could you add a corner? I mean, because Jamad McCoy, Ricky Gibson's out hurt, Colton Hood, could these guys have decisions to make? And, of course, you got to factor in Boo Carter, what happens with him after this season as well. Hopefully he'll stay. But with everything that's happened on it, I think you got to prepare for anything. You got to prepare for anything at any point. And I think right now, too, something to keep in mind with this class, it's top 10 class, no matter what site you look on. It's basically about keeping your guys, keeping them in this class. I've not heard of any taking visits right now, but it always seems somebody comes up and takes some visits at some point. And when that happens, you got to be concerned about it. Maybe the staff is able to keep them in the fold. Maybe they're not concerned about it. But if a dude's looking around, he's not fully in the boat. He's looking to see, is Tennessee Riders or somebody that can beat that for me. But another great day for Tennessee. Another great day adding Hezekiah Harris to the class. Again, where do they go from here? I'm making assumptions on this just based on the names we've heard. Tristan Givens. If I'm them, if Savion Hyder's still listening, I'm still going all in on that one. That's a luxury at this point. It really is, especially when you're going to have Deshaun Bishop, Peyton Lewis, DeJuan Morris, Justin Baker slated to come back next year. Worst case, swing for the fences on that one. Tight end, the same. You got, as of now, 4 tight ends coming back. Do you add Watkins? Do you try to add him for more depth to give you that 5th one? Do you wait and go to the portal for another running back and another tight end? Maybe that's the way they go. And like I said, too, I see them needing to add at least a couple defensive tackles this offseason as well. I know they tried to add some this year. They got Josh Shell, and he didn't even play last week, even with the injury. So the jury's out on that one. This recruiting class, though, is shaping up to be one of the better, if not the best recruiting class under Heupel and staff. Each year, to me, they keep doing better and better. And, we can say what we want. We're starting to see that player development. We're starting to see that big boy recruiting. These guys, they have a relentless side to them that we're seeing. And, adding a guy like Coach Chop full-time to the staff, he's arguably the best recruiter on the staff. But Kelsey Pope's recruiting well. Glenn Ellerby is recruiting well. Darrell Sims, he had been. They've not gotten anybody there this offseason. These guys are doing a good job. They are doing what a big boy SEC program and team does. Remains to be seen, where they go moving forward, or if it's just keeping what you got. And then after the season, going to the portal. This is Frank, House of Orange. No live show tonight as I'm heading out here in a few minutes, but we'll return next Monday for Georgia Week with it as well. Y'all have a great rest of your day. This is Frank, House of Orange, and I'll see you when I see you.